That your idea is really cool and people deserve to hear it because, I don't know, everyone's...
Welcome to Innovation Springs. I'm your host, Hayley Blackburn, Innovation and Design Librarian, Program Director in C3 Innovation, and Affiliate Faculty with the Center for Research Frontiers in Digital Humanities. Now, this show spotlights the folks doing cool things across education, research, business, and thought leadership.
Now, this guest is hustling to get her startup to the next level after winning the EPIIC Torch Grant. I had so much fun speaking with her, and I hope you enjoy all of her authentic and genuinely funny stories.
You can find more information and notes about the show at c3innovation.uccs.edu. Let's dive into the spring.
Amazing. My name is Lauren Little. I am the CEO and founder of Lodgeit, a vaginal health company focused on squashing the current stigmas that exist within society and opening the conversation. So people going through puberty all the way through perimenopause and menopause is the goal, can understand what's happening in their body and have resources to do something about it if something arises. Our initial product is the Fix, which is a suppository that helps balance vaginal pH, but hopefully going to get a whole line of products out there that are sustainable, accessible for anyone with a vagina, because inclusivity rocks and the earth also rocks. So yeah, a day in my life. I don't know if I could define one day in my life. They're all vastly different, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I work a bunch of odd jobs to be able to live my bootstrapping crazy lifestyle, and I really enjoy it. So I'll go and do those odd jobs and then come home and work on my business in my office, which I've made super cutie. But then once I get to the point of distraction, I'll go sit in a co-working space or coffee shop or something to get some more motivation, and then usually sandwich it with another odd job. So it keeps me busy, but it's fun.
Yeah, wow, okay. So, founder life, bootstrapped company. What are some of the, tasks as a founder that you are starting to navigate or realizing that you kind of need to do at this stage in your company?
Oh, well, there's big ones like, finish the website and beef up the social media and finish the packaging and things like that. But then sometimes I think I have a whiteboard in my office and it really helps me because I'll be like, step 1, emails, step 2, and going through everything, or else I will forget to do the little things. Yeah. So I think just moving forward of my big tasks and my little tasks and learning how to make them into a nice little cheeseburger has been really an interesting learning scenario. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that kind of some time task blocking. I've definitely had to learn and adapt to getting better at that as I moved into being just a faculty. I have so many different kind of tasks as well, and a lot of it is unstructured time that I had to add structure to. So it sounds like you're navigating that challenge.
Definitely. Adulting is interesting.
Adulting is interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with your kind of new stage of adulting, tell me a little bit about kind of your pathway to get there. Do you have a degree in business, something else? Did you just jump right into it? What was kind of that early step like?
Yeah, so I grew up always saying I wanted to be a marine veterinarian and save the sharks.
Okay.
But then I did 2 years of pre-veterinary and realized that I can't do the whole euthanasia thing. It's so sad. And it wasn't meant for me. So I added a business minor and then was like, ooh, this rocks. And so I ended up changing my full major to business, took an entrepreneurship class junior year of college. I literally never heard of that word. And then was like, this is the best class I've ever taken in my life. This is epic. Okay. So I ended up just transferring my major to management entrepreneurship. And it was, I don't know, it didn't even feel like I was studying. It was just so fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And I really love that your path kind of went through a minor as well. Because, there's a lot of pressure, I feel like, when people are going into college, what's your major? What's your major? And you need to pick something right away. When actually a lot of people change their mind once they do take classes. And, a minor is a great way to kind of explore other options. So that's a really cool, kind of fun story. It reminds me of my kind of pathway as well. I started out as history and anthropology and all these things. And then I took intro to pop culture class. And that is what made me go ooh, I want to study communication media. And then it never felt like I was in school again. Because I was just I love this. So I'm glad that you were able to find
That's
that
so neat.
early. Where did you go to school?
I went to Colorado State University.
Oh, I went to
You did?
CSU. Yes, go
Oh,
Rams. Okay.
Go Rams! I love that place.
Go UCCS too, but also
Yeah,
pretty cool.
UCCS also rocks. Thank you to this place, but I love Fort Collins.
Turning back to our community, one of the things that we're doing here at UCCS is really trying to focus on innovation, entrepreneurship, like invigorating those ideas. So, how would you define innovation and inspiration kind of for your work in your life?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would define innovation as not just something that takes place in business. I think it's just having a different perspective creatively on any challenge that exists societally and being able to try to find a new approach to that. I don't know. I think that you can apply it to like engineering or cooking or like so many different things, and it just makes it less mundane and more fun and hopefully better for the future. That would be awesome. And then what was the other one?
Like inspiration.
Inspiration. I think inspiration is being able to step outside of yourself and recognize other people's potential and see that they can grow in something even if it doesn't relate to your own path. And being able to, I don't know, be a person that can be like, you can freaking crush this, even though it doesn't like have anything to do with something that you understand.
Yeah, I love that. We have not received kind of that answer from a guest before, but I really love that kind of connection into also like empathy, it sounds like, to have a truly inspired experience, right? Also being able to like see kind of other people and be empathetic of their perspectives and experiences and really like actually value, right, what you're gaining, learning, kind of seeing from them. So I think that's really, really nice. That's
Thank you.
Inspirational definition. Oh my gosh.
I love that.
I love that. All right, so let's turn back to your company. Tell me a lot more about Lodgeit.
Yeah.
And especially like we'll start with what inspired you to come up with that kind of idea and start that business.
For surely. So it started, I think, way younger than I thought it did because when I was going through puberty, I grew up in Florida and I was a swimmer and a dancer and there was a bunch of things up in my grill all the time.
Very humid, very moist area.
Moist. Super moist.
Yes.
Anywho, so it caused me to have a lot of issues. And I was so awkward. I went to a performing arts middle school, which I loved, but it definitely the theater kid, which I can sew a whole Renaissance costume now, which is epic. But anywho, I was an awkward child, and it was really hard to talk about issues going through things like that. I remember even when I got my period, I was like, oh no, this is it. I'm dying.
Yeah, what is happening?
Which is nuts that educational resources. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Anywho, so I had a lot of issues with yeast infections and BV, and I didn't even understand what was going on. So finally, when I talked to my mom, she was like, oh, there's this super easy solution that you can just lodge up there. And her best friend had taught her how to make it, and it was her favorite thing ever. And it ended up being my favorite thing ever. So I used it throughout my life and didn't think much of it, and then went to college and lived in the sorority house sophomore year.
Okay.
And the amount of women that would come up to me and be like, can I get some more of that? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I can hustle. Why don't we hustle this guy? So it started then. And then I took entrepreneurship and was like, oh, should I do this for a class, or is that really out there to talk about vaginas in front of this class with this super cute boy in it and all of these things? Yeah. And then I ended up doing it, and I started sobbing in front of my class when I said the word vagina and made eye contact with said super cute man. And I was like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do that. And then I was like, no, that's the problem. People can't talk about their bodies in a way where they feel comfortable enough to do so. And the more and more I started forcing myself to do it, that entrepreneurship teacher, Bert, was the most magnificent human. He signed me up to do a pitch competition at CSU, and he was like, you're doing this. And I was like, I don't know about that one. And I did it, and I was like, okay, if you can do that, you can do hard things. You can keep doing this. And so I kind of just kept talking about it, and then realized that there's so many stigmas that need to be broken.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, hearing you talk about it now, clearly you've come a long way because that
Thank
was
you.
fantastic. And I completely agree. There has, like, growing up, you for myself as well. I mean, I'm 30 something. It's like,
Really?
I am, yeah.
You look young. Okay.
I get that. I definitely been mistaken for a student many, many
Wow.
times on campus. But yes, in my 30s, growing up, so I've been like aughts going through sort of high school. Same, like nobody, you don't talk about that.
You don't
Like,
talk
it
about
was still
that.
the age of like hiding a tampon like in your sleeve to no, we cannot do that anymore. So I really appreciate and applaud that that's kind of built into your company, like ethos and mission. And I'm excited to see kind of how the culture hopefully changes and you're able to make that change. So with your sorority house, you mentioned, okay, a lot of your sorority sisters were like, ooh, like,
Yeah.
give me the goods. This is necessary.
Yeah.
How did they kind of react or feel about the educational part of your goal?
Yeah, so that was an interesting thing for me to navigate at the beginning, especially because I would just give it to them and be like, here you go. And they'll be like, do I just take it as a pill? And I was like, no. Please don't do that. That will that will not be good. And then they would start asking me like, how do I use it? Do I use it like before I have an issue? Like if I want to go like be intimate with someone, should I use it before that or all of these things? And I was like, no, like it's after the fact. So then I had to start rewiring my brain of, okay, how can we educate these humans on how you should use it for your body? Because each body is so vastly different. So that was definitely a really interesting learning curve of how to say like, yeah, I don't know, you have to learn your own body and learn your own experiences. Yes.
Sorry. So it sounded like they were really open and excited to like
Yes.
wanting to learn more and wanting to be able to talk about it with, somebody that they also like trust and, feels different when you feel like there's a safe space or like
Yeah.
a common like space to be able to talk about that.
For sure. And there was this one, I remember specifically this one girl that was in my sales club, and she came and talked to me about it one time, and she was like the sweetest girl ever and told me she grew up in a small town, grew up very Christian and conservative, and it was just a very like, we do not talk about this, period, point blank, ever. And I just remember her asking me so many questions, and I was like, I love that you feel like you can ask me these questions. That I just love that. So it's very inspirational to see how many people do have questions, even if they've never had a space to ask them, because they might seem like a person that feels very well educated and someone who's studying like biology, but they don't understand what's going on in their own bodies. So I don't know, it's been really cool to see every person's experience, I guess, that I've talked to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So you came up with this kind of initial idea as you're going through some entrepreneurship classes. And then you entered a pitch competition at CSU. So kind of take me through, that journey from that first pitch to kind of really starting up the business and how you ended up, I first saw you pitching with an EPIIC program. So tell me about that journey from Fort Collins to having your business here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, so actually it's a beautiful path that it happened on, because I did a poster competition that day where it was one of the ones where people walk around and can chat with you about your poster, and that was in the morning, and then in the afternoon was the pitch competition. And in the morning I was standing up and chatting with people, and a man named Luke Doster came, and he came up to me. We know him. He comes up and he's like, this is epic, like we should chat more. And I was like, okay, cool. And didn't think anything of it too much. He was like, we have this program at UCCS, like you should look into it. And I was like, sure, I love having a little bit of direction in my life. That's nice. And then went into the pitch competition, and I believe it was a 7-minute pitch with a 5-minute Q&A. And I learned that I prefer Q&A over pitching. That's what I learned during that pitch.
Okay. Why is that? Small detour.
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
I over practice things, I've learned, to the point where I freak myself out and I'll practice every single word and I'll forget like an and then I'm like, So I've had to relax. We're working on that and just like trusting that you have the knowledge inside. And with Q&A, you don't know what they're going to ask. So you just are kind of speaking about it, which I enjoy.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Definitely. Like I did lots of public speaking for my comm degree. And I feel like many of my classmates did better when it could be a little bit off the cuff versus when you have to memorize and then you forget. Like it
Yeah.
messes you up. So, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, back to the past. So you did that competition.
Mhm.
You learned like Q&A. You met Luke. What
Mhm.
happens next?
Next, that was junior year of college. So wrapped up that year, applied to the program with UCCS, the Startup to 1 Million Boot Up Camp. And luckily it was online, which was really great because I usually enjoy an in-person thing, but that program is so involved that I wouldn't have been able to do it if it was in person living in Fort Collins. So did it online, got paired up with a mentor, had a really amazing cohort. Everyone in that cohort was a really smart human, and just like being able to listen to them pitch and things like that was really, really helpful. And then when I would give my pitches and they would give just honest feedback, that was incredibly helpful. And to learn how to like have open arms to everything that everyone said was just really great, as well as like having the lessons every week of like finance and then supply chain and all of these things, more focused with your business was really helpful instead of just like an accounting class or something of that nature. So it was really, really helpful. And then that program I think taught me how to network, which
Key.
oh my gosh, that's a learning process still.
Yeah, right. We talked about like just go network, like just a thing you can do, but definitely there's like some courage
Oh my
that you have to
gosh.
build up. There's some of that kind of social etiquette, some skill. Like absolutely, it's not a just go do it. So.
Networking is a hard skill, I feel like. Yeah, every time I do it, I have to like look in the mirror and be like,
You can do this.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that program was great for that and learning how to ask for help. I'm not very good at that. So being able to be like, I don't fully understand my financial projection. You're really good at that. Can you chat with me about that? And that was just a really great learning lesson as well. And then I feel like that just propelled me to have those situations where it's like, oh, I know someone and I know someone and I know someone, and get closer to that person that really, really understands the industry. So that was really neat.
Nice. Okay, so you went through that program, and was that connected then with the seed grant pitch so it kind of culminated in you pitching?
So you have to do the program before you're able to do the pitch competition.
Okay.
So a couple months after the program, I participated in the pitch competition and got runner-up to Colin Plover, who is a freaking genius. So that was good. And honestly, I'm grateful. Timing, everything happens for a reason, and timing was everything. And I would not have been able to move to UCCS or around here at that time. So I told myself, I was like, okay, you're going to do this pitch competition one more time because I really want to do the bootstrapping thing. And if it doesn't work out, it's not meant to be, and you're going to do something else. And I happened to have a medical sales interview the same day as the pitch competition. And I was like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're going to trust. And I ended up winning the second year, and I was like, okay, I declined the rest of the interviews with the medical sales company, even though, that was the scariest thing I think I've done in a really long time. But I just took it as a sign. And yeah, that competition, oh my gosh, it was 2 rounds. The first round was on Zoom, and I absolutely bombed that first one. And I'm not even saying that like that it was not good. It was not good at all. So I was very grateful to make it to the second round where I felt stronger in that pitch. So I'm happy for how it worked out, I guess, to say the least. Yeah. That's a good program.
It is. And we'll have all the information in the bio if you want to learn more about that, Startup to 1 Million Bootcamp and the Torch Grant program with EPIIC. All right, so since winning that, what it's been last fall, how has the past year been for you, and what's kind of on the horizon?
Yes. So I moved to the Springs in, was that January, February, something like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Resident.
And then I recently cashed in my money, which I'm excited about. And am going to start spending that strategically. And that's starting with new packaging, which I'm really excited about. It's all sustainable and it's gorgeous. I love her. And I went to LA this past weekend to do a photo shoot for my website, which I'm honored to have such beautiful friends that will model for me, which thank you guys. Anywho, so getting the website up and running, I need to do the social media, which I really struggle with. The social media, it's a lot to put yourself out there.
It is a lot. I mean, that is a whole degree path in itself,
Truly.
an entire career, by itself, just having a social media management team. So I imagine that takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. And then also, I'm just like, I haven't had TikTok for years. My friends call me, they're like, you are so behind in social media and stuff. So I just think I just need to get up with the times of like the trends and stuff, and then it'll be more fun. But doing those things and then just getting some legal and regulatory things in line will be really pivotal. I am grateful for my anxious brain, but I also see where it holds me back because I will think through every single thing that will go wrong with every single part of the process. And that makes me slow in business sometimes. So we're working through that as well.
Right, you can kind of cause that spiral. But definitely feel like a huge part of just the innovators kind of ethics and, being like that entrepreneurship spirit.
Yeah.
Is a lot of just like bravery and belief in yourself. It's like you got to turn down one job so you can, commit to all the different things you have to do here, and being able to say like, okay, I can't control most of what's going on, but here's what I can do, and kind of having that courage to like take that step.
Yes. I have on my whiteboard, I always have like a quote of something of like, because you have to. Words of affirmation.
Love that. What was like this week's quote?
Well, this week I have two, actually. One's on my mirror, and it says, you can do hard things, which is like one of my favorites. Or do it scared. That's another one of my favorites.
I love that.
And then I drew on my whiteboard this man holding a glass of water. And because it's like this analogy of like a really light glass of water is not very heavy, but you hold it for like a long time. And then your arm is like, holy freak, cut me off already. So I just need to remember that analogy. Yeah.
Oh, I like all of those kind of quotes for sure. Okay, so you're new to the area, and I know one of the things with EPIIC and kind of the Torch grants, a goal is to get more of this kind of innovative business in the spring. So glad that you decided to move here. So far, I know it hasn't been long, but what is kind of your favorite thing that you've discovered about the area or the community as a brand new kind of transplant?
Transplant. I like that. Well, first of all, I'll get into the entrepreneurship thing in a second. It's absolutely beautiful down here. I didn't come down here very often, but the mountains are like right there. It's just stunning. But I really like the community aspect here. I was able to do exponential impact as well, which that program, holy moly, so awesome. And to use their co-working space, I need to utilize it more because every time I go there, I'm just so much more productive than I am at home. It's just an awesome resource. And then they also had the co-working space that was at the Switchback Stadium that you can use when you're in the program. Nice. It's so cool. Yeah. It's just like, but I would get kind of distracted with the soccer, so I couldn't go there too often.
I have to focus. But yeah, both of those spaces, been over to both of them. I'm like, it has, just that kind of vibe to it. Where I go in, I'm just like, I feel like an innovator. Like I feel like a productive disruptor. I walk in and I transform. So
truly,
yeah.
It's so neat that they have that at our fingertips. I just love it. So that's been great. And everyone here is such a kind, welcoming human. Every time I like leave my house and like do something, I'm like, wow, I met a really nice person at the grocery store, or like something like that. So it's just been cool to meet so many kind people in the community.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That is so good to hear. All right, so kind of thinking about, potentially students or just other people that have a business idea, they want to get started. Let's talk a little bit about advice, right? You've lived through, you're on the brink of success. You've had a lot of successes already. And so kind of let's return to that idea of like pitching, networking. What have you learned that has really helped you kind of through that process that you might just impart on a student who knows they have a good idea, but they're really nervous and are going into their first kind of networking pitching event?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so scary. First of all, you are valid. Second of all, it might sound silly, but like talking to yourself in the mirror is one of the like most important things I feel like I can do. Like right before the pitch in the Springs, I had so many sticky notes on the mirror that were like, you deserve to be here, you can do this, blah, 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 blah. So just like having those affirmations that your idea is really cool and people deserve to hear it. Because I don't know, everyone's brain is just such a neat place. And even if this idea isn't going to be revolutionary, you're going to learn so much through every scenario and part of the journey you put yourself through. So if you just commit to doing it a little bit and taking that initial step, you'll get one step closer to that success. So yeah, I think it's just cool to do it scared. That's like my favorite thing ever. But yeah.
I love that. And talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And like say it out loud.
Yeah.
Right? Did you like, it's not just running through it in your head. Be like, it's one thing to be like, yeah, I got this when you just have it inside of your brain, but actually practice saying the words out loud. Make them come out of your mouth.
Yeah. I also think a big part of learning to be a successful entrepreneur is being able to hear people's advice, even if you disagree with their perspectives or things, but not getting defensive and just taking it for what it is and like taking what resonates and leaving the rest, I think is really important to growth. Instead of being like, nope, I'm good, I already understand everything. Like, no, you don't. Like, you can always learn some more, and learning is so cool. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is good advice as well. It's like, and not all advice or suggestions or feedback necessarily is gonna meet your needs or like hit, but you can always find something in the feedback that you could, or like learn how to adapt, innovate, like iterate on that feedback. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Evolution rocks.
Right? Like, keep moving forward, make it better.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, as we are wrapping up, let's see, we've talked about kind of a little bit about the future of your company, but as we are wrapping up, what, should we all be really looking out for kind of next from you? Any big, roadmap timelines? Like,
yeah. Well, the photo shoot I just did was a beach photo shoot.
Nice.
Everything will always tie back to my heart, but therefore, I'm hoping to set launch this summer.
Exciting.
Which is very, very exciting. So stay tuned for that and get excited to Lodgeit soon.
Yes. Yeah, we will. And we'll make sure to have links, information, everything you need to find Lodgeit in our description. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us, Lauren?
Well, going back to my asking for help, I would like to learn through UCCS at some point some more resources to build some type of student team or intern or something like that to just get more brains, because I love that. So at some point, I think that would be really cool to get some students on the team to help propel this thing forward.
Yes, absolutely. Ask and you shall receive, because we definitely have several different kind of ways that could work. So we'll definitely chat.
Amazing.
And reach out. Let us know.
Yeah.
This was such a fun conversation. Thank you so much for joining. And I really look forward to seeing that kind of launch of your company and kind of following your journey forward.
Thanks, Hayley. Thanks for having me. This was like so fun. And I really appreciate you and this time and chatting with you. You have a nice brain.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And that's today's journey into innovation. Now, when to explore the research and ideas we mentioned today, everything is linked in the show notes. If you want to be a guest, I'd love to hear your story. Find the submission form at our website, c3innovation.uccs.edu. Innovation Springs is a production of C3 Innovation at the UCCS Kramer Family Library. Studio recording is provided by the Garage at EPIIC. Hayley Blackburn is an affiliate faculty member in the Digital Humanities Center. Theme music is from Simon Trumpf-Lippine, Dreaming of Innovation, Storyblocks. Follow at c3innovation.uccs on social media and check out our website for events, programs, and more opportunities. For more content on the digital humanities, head over to labs.uccs.edu/CREFDH. And for more innovation initiatives, go over to epiic.uccs.edu with our friends in EPIIC. See you next episode.